Okay, take two. Hopefully this one's not broken. We're both struggling to get up, aren't we, bud? Oh, hi, Luna. Morning. So to say life has been crazy is an understatement. This past week has been insane. It's been scary. It's been painful. It's been exhausting. I am running on zero energy, high pain, adrenaline, and lots of prayer. So as I was saying, life has been crazy. I am so grateful that Kyle is okay. He did have a snowboarding accident. You guys have seen all of our vlogs where he's been snowboarding and he goes over huge jumps and stuff like that. But accidents happen, obviously. He went last Monday, so it's been a week. I'm so exhausted. This was the first night that I got to sleep all the way through the night, so that was really nice because he's well enough to get himself his own pain pills and stuff like that now. But he was snowboarding, his body was tired, so he just caught an edge, and usually he just rolls into it if he ever falls, but it just happened that he fell right on his left arm, shoulder, and he broke his collarbone. And it's a very bad, pretty big break, and so he heard it, he knew right away it was broken, and his shoulder was you know, down. So poor guy drove an hour and a half home. When he got home, we took him to the immediate care. I called his mom, she drove us, and my parents were out of town. So then they're like, yep, it's broken. Poor guy's miserable at this point. And they said surgery will be sometime this week. We're not sure when yet. So 2 days go by, still haven't scheduled the surgery. You know, we've called and everything. So long story short, he had surgery Friday. So he had to deal for a long time with this broken collarbone where he couldn't function, couldn't move. So his mom stayed the night, 2 nights, and so she helped me a lot, and then I was helping him. And then Friday he had his surgery. Surgery went well. It went longer than they thought because the break was a little worse than they thought. However, when he woke up, he was violently ill from the anesthesia. So he is one of those, we found out now, because you can pre-treat, but he didn't know that he'd get sick. And he woke up vomiting, and it was miserable. He was very, very sick. We were gonna probably be in and out of there pretty quickly. We shut the place down, and we finally were able to get him sitting up long enough without getting sick or feeling like he's gonna pass out and losing all of his color. Just so sick. It was very hard to watch. You know, the person you love being in pain is very, very difficult. So the surgery was well, it was just afterwards, it was so bad. The nurses were feeling horrible for him, and he wasn't able to take a pain medication because he was sick, and so they gave him an IV for more nausea medicine, but that made him sleepy, so he fell asleep again. And then when he woke up, we tried to do it again, and it started all over again. And then thankfully, after about a half hour after the second time of waking up and everything, we were able to just get him quickly into the car and home. And then he was able to eat finally at home and no more getting sick. But that meant he didn't get pain medication right away, which meant his block wore off. And so he dealt with immense pain. He needed to catch up on all of his pain medications. So he dealt with tons and tons of pain the first night, thankfully after that night it's been looking up. I mean, he's still, obviously he has a huge bandage and had huge surgery, and the doctor said he'll probably want to have surgery again to remove it because his collarbone, he is a skinny guy, it really sticks out anyway. He's like, you're gonna be able to count all the screws, and so he'll probably have it taken out in 6 months, but if it doesn't bother him, maybe not, especially after this experience. So I'm so grateful that he's okay and everything like that. It was just a very scary and hard time because, like I said, it was just difficult. And I'm only talking about me because a lot of you guys did ask, and because this is a chronic illness channel. But you know, when I was focused all on him, I didn't care how I felt, obviously. But to answer some of the questions, yes, I was exhausted. By night 3, 4, I felt like I was just gonna bawl my eyes out. I could barely function. But, you know, God gave me strength, and having his mom here to help, and I didn't go to work. If I would have gone to work, I wouldn't have been able to help. So thankfully I had subs and didn't go to work and helped him. And then after 2 nights of yesterday, I didn't have to get up out of bed. I still got up and texted to make sure he was okay and had his pain pills and everything, and he was fine. And then last night I didn't. So just 2 nights of that, I already feel so much better. I can tell my body's really run down, but I've been taking lots of vitamins, and past 2 days I've been able to lay on the couch while he's on the recliner. We got the recliner from my parents' house because we don't have one. So yeah, it's been a lot. But thank you guys so much for the prayers and everything like that. I know he appreciates the prayers too. So it's hopefully all just going to be looking up from now on. It brings up a lot of emotions. Some of the stuff was hard for me to see, like with the getting sick, because of PTSD of how much I've gotten sick from meds. And so I left the room when he would get sick just so I wouldn't make it worse. I didn't want to start throwing up in front of him. I didn't want to pass out. So I got some ice chips and sat down. But other than that, thankfully I was able to be with him all the other times. My car's warming up. That's why I can talk right now. We've had so much help with all this. My father-in-law fixed my car, thankfully, so I can drive it now. It hadn't been working, so thankfully I can drive it to work now. So this is the first morning he's alone. He was asleep when I left, but I texted him at 8 and he said everything was fine, and he had his pain pills, so he should be okay, because he can get up now without feeling too dizzy, and so he can get up now if need be for a little bit. I'm trying to go to work this week. Hopefully I make it through all of teaching, in the sense that I get to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as long as Kyle doesn't need me, that is. Okay, I had some dance stuff I had to work on, so been here about 20 minutes, made up some dances, worked on that. Now I'm gonna get to cleaning, and then I'll have work, and then I'll go home and check on Kyle and do my meds and detox. Okay, I'm herxing really bad, so I need to talk a little bit because my fingers hurt, I'm fading. Thankfully I live very close to my work, but it's still, I have to really pay attention to drive. But I'm gonna go home and check on Kyle. I texted him, he didn't respond, so I'm assuming he's sleeping. But then I'm gonna do my mat and get my mat. I'm gonna get my meds and my mat, and then I have some keto pizza left over. I'm gonna have that, get him whatever he needs, and then I'm gonna start resting because I am just so worn out. All right, I just got home and Kyle was able to sleep a long time this morning, which is good. And then I started the water so I could make some coffee French press, or coffee AeroPress. And then Kyle said he's not hungry yet. You are hungry, aren't you? You want some food? So the best thing for me to do the second I get home is take my meds and get the stuff I want to have, like a cup of coffee for the rest of the day and stuff, because I fade so fast. Like if I, like my fingers, it's hard to move. I kind of feel like I'm floating out of my body. It's just a lot. So I usually get my meds really quick. I have added adrenal each 2 times a day, and I really like that. I'm not able to talk much more because I'm just fading. But yeah, so the best thing is to do it right away and then do the mat and then lay down. And thankfully I don't have to go back to work today, so I can change into comfy clothes and, oh, shoot. So I actually don't have strength to push the air press, so I have to just let it sit. I'm gonna get Kyle a cup of coffee.